Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by Play Picks and the Lines, coming to you from the West Coast. Josh Lander, joined by my guy Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. And we've got our player props video here for you guys on a Tuesday night slate with those couple games we've got. Looking at the Dubs taking on Memphis again here in Game 2. Also looking at that Eastern Conference Game 2 for the Bucks and the Seas. So those are the two games we have to choose from here. Make sure you are liked and subscribed to that page. Continue to follow along with us. We are bringing you each and every playoff game with a game video and then these player props videos as well. And also want you to head to thelines.com. Make sure you're using that props tool, shopping the lines out there for the best odds available for you guys on all these NBA player props. And I also want you to head to play.thelines.com if you'd like to win a $25 Amazon gift card. Just fill it in that NBA Daily Pick'em Challenge, get all those correct, and we will send you that gift card. And as always, if you do still need a FanDuel or DraftKings account, head to ftpicks.com or dkpicks.com. Find those listings in your area, such as tonight's play props. Nate, let's get into it.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Ja Morant here in Game 2, and it's not because he blew up for 34 points. I'm actually not really taking the points. If you want to take over 27.5, go for it. But I like the over 17.5 rebounds assists at plus 102. Pretty good odds there. I mean, you combine it, he's minus 140 to get to 8 rebounds and minus 140 to get to 9 assists. So we're saying that's really likely, but you just put the two together and you're protected both ways, and the odds are better. So, I mean, that's just an easy choice for me. In 6 straight playoff games, he's gotten at least 19 and up to 23 rebounds and assists, including a near triple-double on top of those 34 points first time out. The fact that Steven Adams is out is, you wouldn't think of it as, our point guard's going to do a lot more peripheral things, but that's really what Ja has done, because Steven Adams is kind of a point center for this team. I mean, he just catches it on the elbow and facilitates things. Without him in there, it's just Ja running pick and roll with Brandon Clark and kicking to everybody and trying to scoop shots now to Triple J, who's able to stay on the floor in this series. And so Ja, I mean, even though he has not been scoring against the Warriors in his previous 6 regular season, 20.5 points per game. I think they'll do a better job denying his penetration, keeping him from scoring 30 plus like he did. That's why I'm shying away from the points a little bit, but I think he'll still be able to rack up those assists because he's just creating everything for Memphis right now. Per 36 minutes, he averages about 44 points, rebounds, and assists this season. Offensive rating 6 points higher at home versus on the road, and where he only played 31 minutes per game, but he plays nearly 39 minutes per game in his career in the playoffs thus far. So that gives him plenty of opportunity to just get these peripheral stats and get you up to 18 or 19 again.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the other reason not to love the points again are, I mean, he scored plenty, but he also went 4 of 11 from 3. Maybe he can continue that. I don't know. That's the second most amount of threes he's ever made in a playoff game. I mean, it's only 6th, but he did have a surprisingly, well, I guess no, that play in game with the Dubs where he actually made 6 3-pointers. But look, that's not by coincidence. It's not by coincidence that he and Triple J are both just taking a ton of threes. They're wide open because that's what they want them to do. They hit them at a very nice clip, going 10 of 20 combined between Ja and Jaren Jackson Jr. in Game 1. But one of them, at the very least, needs to regress a little bit back towards their mean. I would say that Ja going closer to 2 for 9 from 3 is what you would expect there for him. But I still think that you feel pretty good about him getting at least close to, if not double-digit assists. And he's all over the place, man, for those rebounds as well. Especially because Triple J is going to be their center moving forward. We all know that. Xavier Tillman will get some time, but Xavier Tillman ain't going to be able to last on the floor against the Golden State the way he was in that Minnesota Timberwolves series. So you're going to see plenty of Triple J at center and Ja really, like you said, doing his thing without anybody else, taking up any of those sort of the elbow area or anything that he wants to do to get into the lane and dish out. So I'm going to move on to the guy I was just talking about. Simple segue, Jaren Jackson Jr. I am going to go back to him for those threes and the points. He had 14 at the half, which the half that Draymond played in before he got kicked out of the game for a flagrant two. I say that because I don't want people to run away with the idea that he had 33 points in this game and just made a bunch of threes because Draymond wasn't in there to guard him. He was already making some shots and doing his thing around the rim as well, still scoring, roughly 40% of his points from the paint. But I like the threes again. For him to just make two is minus 170 on DraftKings if you want to just take something that you feel good about, but why not just take three at that point, which on FanDuel, you can get that alternate line there for him to hit 3 threes plus 210 on your money. And now I really like that. He shot the ball 9 times from 3 because they're going to let him. And if he's going to step into, 25 footers and make it, God bless. And he's going to get that shot. And I think he's going to continue to have the opportunity to do that. He's played really well against the Dubs, in his last 4, averaging better than 20 points a game, 8.5 boards. He's making 2.5 threes in that time frame. So I think the safe play here is for him to get 16 points, especially because I think the Dubs have made clear that Desmond Bane is not getting open shots from 3, nor is Dylan Brooks. Not that it stopped him from shooting the ball from 3 more than 9 times last game, but he's going to be covered to the extent that he was in this last one as well. It's going to be Triple J and John Morant that are allowed to shoot the threes for against the Warriors. And I like Triple J to continue to be able to make 3 of them if he's going to be shooting 9 of them.
Yeah, I mean, this is a situation where you can really just capitalize on great odds because he wasn't able to stay on the floor in the last series, and the Warriors are not going to get him into foul trouble at all. Nobody's in the same way Draymond doesn't even attack. Right. Yeah. So he's all of a sudden he's out there. He's reliable to get about his season averages. He averaged 16 points per game at home. And even in a down year shooting the ball, he was 35% from 3 at home. Not terrible. After hitting 6 threes, you're getting that kind of odds for him to hit half that amount when he's going to be hoisting. Memphis could actually be down in this game more than they were in game 1, and then he will continue to hoist. But speaking of letting you shoot threes, that is exactly what the Milwaukee Bucks do. And they like to pick who they let shoot threes. And Al Horford is one of those designated guys, despite the fact that he's shooting 54% from 3 in these playoffs. And that's basically how he's getting all of his points. He scored 12 points in game 1 by hitting 4 of 9 from 3. And so those will be there. And he's only at 10.5 points here at close to even money. So I would just hit that. It's the same situation where you're at minus 150 for him to hit 2 threes. You might as well jump it up 1 more and get the plus odds. But I think Horford will be scoring in a little bit more of a variety of ways, not just from the 3-point line, mixing it up down low a little bit. The Celtics need to get some stuff going in the paint, that's for sure. Yeah. After scoring a season low 20 points down low in that game, it's not like Milwaukee is impenetrable. Their defense was not even very good during the second half of the season. Boston can bounce back by just attacking that. And Horford should be on the floor. That's key here because he's been their best option to guard Giannis. It's the best initial option with Robert Williams kind of patrolling that back line. So I do like him to get over 22.5 points, rebounds, assists. He did have 10 boards, 3 assists to go along with those 12 points game 1. And that's even better odds than just the points. But the points is so low that I feel great just hitting that rather than trying to chase a 30-point game from one of the Jays here in a series that so far has been very physical and very tough for any star to get going.
Yeah, and we'll see how hobbled Marcus Smart is, in this game, which affects all of that in terms of their perimeter scoring. But Papa Al is going to continue to be allowed to shoot threes, and I think part of it is when he misses, it's so bad looking. Honestly, sometimes it's like either a really wild air ball or just like a line drive off the front of the rim, but he still makes them. And when they go in, you're like, oh, that's cash. It's like one of those guys where as soon as it's off Papa Al's hands, you're like, that's in, or that is a brick right away, because when his form is true, it's true. But I think the points are fine at 10.5. I don't even really want to chase the other stats. But to your point, like the defense wasn't bad by any means. It's just what they choose to allow you to do. And I don't think you want to continue to chase any big games from the Jays in this series. Although, look, if Tatum could come out in this one and give us something that proves that he is in that upper echelon where we have him. But to the points that you made in that game video, like you ain't playing the Nets defense here, dude. Like as bad as or as average as the Bucks defense was throughout the season, it got better once Brook Lopez came with just roughly 3 weeks left in the season, and that's what you're seeing in the playoffs. Even though it was against the Bulls team that was just diminished at that point, and the Celtics team is just as good on offense, almost as good on offense as they are on defense anyway, and they're very, very good on defense. I think that let me put it this way: right now, the Bucks seem to have a bit of their number on defense over what the Celtics were able to do against Giannis and company in Game 2. But we'll see what happens here, and I'll keep it in this game for our fourth prop and go back to Mr. Holiday, Drew Holiday there. He is definitely a friend of the show and someone that we love to go back to. 19 and a half points, minus 108 on FanDuel. 3 made threes for the man is plus 176. Dude, he's hitting all his threes on unassisted 3-point shots as well, because he's just stepping into them from all over the court with a confidence and then pulling the arrow out of his back and shooting that out the quiver, which is beautiful. But I continue to feel good about him because he's playing with a level of confidence that kind of feels like winning a championship gives you that level of like, been here before, this is our chip and we're coming back for it. So I like him to continue to score with Middleton out. His usage rate since that Middleton injury is 27%. He's shooting 40% from 3 on making about 2.5 of them since that time as well. And he's played well against Boston. His last 4 versus them, talking about 23 points, 6 boards, 6 assists, and plenty of threes, including that last regular season game in April on the 7th, where he went 29, 8 and 8 with 4 threes against Boston. And if Marcus Smart is hurt, as we said, that's their best option for guarding Drew in this series, short of needing to put someone like Jaylen Brown on him, which I'm not saying is out of the question with how strong Drew Holiday is as well. So, but either way, I still like him to get the points as the true second banana in this one, as we like to say. And they're clearly saying, go ahead, Drew. I mean, 8 for 20 from the field, but still hitting those 3-pointers at a rate of like 4 for 9 in a way that you feel pretty good about him getting 20 points, even if we kind of do lean under again in game. Or this time in Game 2, knowing what we know about the way these defenses are playing, it's going to be a bit of him getting that usage and those minutes and shots up because of Chris Middleton being out.
Yeah, are you sure he wasn't the second banana already this season? I mean, yeah, he would take away MVP votes from Giannis because the Bucks actually had a worse record when Drew missed games than Giannis.
Love him.
And yeah, you talk about that championship medal. I mean, it was all over his face in the first quarter. Putting his imprints on that game right away. The fact that his individual matchup, Smart is dealing with 2 different injuries in the quad and the shoulder. You think Drew's going to be a big part of the game plan, going right at Smart, testing him early. And just the fact that, that Middleton's out, that usage rate's going to go up and it's going to be, and all the attention Giannis is getting. I'd love just Drew 20 points here. You never know how many threes he's actually going to take, but the odds are definitely great for him to hit 3 of those. And
those 3-point attempts do go up when Middleton is out, knowing that they're going to be lacking from him in that department. So, just like Drew's stats all over the place right now, continuing along, especially with Giannis's remaining so damn high. But that is all the time we have for you in this one. Continue to follow along with us, like and subscribe to that page. We're going to be bringing these player props videos, these playoff game videos as well throughout these playoffs. So until we see you next, happy betting.